Alright, buckle up, because we're about to embark on an epic journey through the labyrinthine world of dating, attraction, and the often perplexing silence that can emanate from the object of your affection. Forget those fleeting moments of frustration and self-doubt. We're not just talking about how to react when a woman ignores you, we're diving deep into a transformative process of self-mastery, leveraging the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to not only navigate these tricky situations but to emerge as a more confident, grounded, and ultimately, irresistible version of yourself. So, let's set the stage. You've connected with someone, maybe through mutual friends, a dating app, or even a chance encounter at your favorite coffee shop. The initial sparks flew. Conversations flowed effortlessly. Maybe you even shared a memorable date or two, filled with laughter, genuine connection, and a palpable sense of possibility. Then, silence. A text message goes unanswered. A call goes straight to voicemail. You see her active on social media, engaging with others, but seemingly oblivious to your existence. The agonizing wait begins. The internal monologue kicks into overdrive. Did I say something wrong? Did I come on too strong? Is she seeing someone else? You replay every interaction, dissecting every word, every gesture, searching for the hidden flaw, the fatal mistake that triggered this sudden and inexplicable shift. This feeling, this gnawing uncertainty, is precisely where so many men falter, losing their composure and inadvertently handing over their power. But, here's the crucial truth, the liberating realization that will serve as the bedrock of our transformation: her ignoring you is rarely, if ever, about you. Showing the common frustration and questioning that arises when being ignored by a woman, setting the stage for the Stoic solution. In the swirling vortex of modern dating, layered with its intricate power dynamics and often unspoken agendas, silence can be a multifaceted weapon. It could be a test, a subconscious, or even conscious, probe to gauge your level of interest, your emotional resilience, your willingness to chase. It could be a validation-seeking maneuver, a subtle attempt to elevate her own desirability by observing the scramble for her attention. Or, perhaps, and this is a possibility we must acknowledge with unflinching honesty, she's simply not as invested as you are. Maybe her initial enthusiasm waned, or perhaps her attention was diverted elsewhere. Regardless of the underlying reason, the why is ultimately irrelevant. What truly matters, the variable over which you exert absolute and unwavering control, is your response. Stoicism, that ancient and enduring philosophy of self-control and emotional resilience, provides the ultimate framework for navigating these turbulent waters. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot. We cannot control another person's thoughts, feelings, or actions. We cannot force someone to reciprocate our affections or to adhere to our timelines. But, we can control our reactions, our emotions, and our choices. When faced with silence, the Stoic approach is not to wallow in self-pity, to bombard her with desperate messages, or to engage in childish games of retaliation. Instead, it's about recognizing the situation for what it is, accepting the reality of her silence without judgment, and consciously choosing a response that aligns with your values, your self-respect, and your long-term goals. Now, before we delve deeper into the specific tactics and strategies, let's address a common misconception: this isn't about becoming emotionally detached or suppressing your feelings altogether. Stoicism is not about becoming a robot devoid of emotion. It's about cultivating a rational and balanced perspective, allowing you to experience emotions without being controlled by them. It's about recognizing the power of your own mind and choosing to respond to external events with wisdom, courage, and equanimity. Think of it like navigating a raging river. You can't stop the river from flowing, but you can learn to steer your boat, avoid the treacherous currents, and reach your destination safely. Similarly, you can't control whether or not she ignores you, but you can control how you navigate that experience, protecting your emotional well-being and ultimately, emerging stronger and more self-assured. The first step, and arguably the most challenging, is to resist the urge to chase. The instinctive reaction when faced with silence is often to double down, to increase our efforts, to try harder to win her attention. We might send another text, filled with carefully crafted words designed to elicit a response. We might check her social media profiles obsessively, analyzing her every post, every like, every comment, searching for clues, for explanations, for any sign of connection. We might even resort to desperate measures, like showing up unexpectedly at places we know she frequents, hoping for a chance encounter, a moment to rekindle the spark. But, all these actions, however well-intentioned, are counterproductive. They reek of neediness, insecurity, and a desperate craving for validation. They communicate, loud and clear, that her opinion holds undue power over your emotional state. And, paradoxically, they often push her further away. Remember, women, and people in general, are drawn to confidence, independence, and a sense of self-worth. They are attracted to individuals who are comfortable in their own skin, who are not desperately seeking external validation, who possess a sense of purpose and direction in their lives. Chasing, in all its various forms, undermines these qualities, portraying you as someone who lacks self-assurance and who is overly reliant on her approval. So, what's the alternative? The alternative is to do nothing. To embrace the silence, to accept the lack of response without judgment, and to consciously choose to redirect your energy and attention elsewhere. This is not about playing games or manipulating her emotions. It's about understanding the power of self-control and demonstrating that her behavior does not dictate your mood, your actions, or your sense of self-worth. Illustrating how women sometimes test men through silence, and the importance of remaining cool and confident. Think of it like this: you're a skilled angler, casting your line into a promising fishing spot. You feel a nibble, a slight tug on the line, indicating potential interest. But, instead of immediately yanking the line, you wait. You remain patient, allowing the fish to investigate the bait, to commit to the bite. A hasty or overly aggressive reaction could scare the fish away, costing you the catch. Similarly, in the game of dating, silence can be a test, a subtle probe to gauge your reaction. Resisting the urge to chase is like waiting for the fish to fully commit, demonstrating your patience, your composure, and your confidence. When you do nothing, you reclaim your power. You communicate, without saying a word, that you are not controlled by her actions, that you are not desperate for her attention, that you are secure in your own worth. This, in turn, often sparks curiosity and intrigue. She begins to wonder why you're not reacting as expected. She might question her initial assessment of you, wondering if she underestimated your confidence or your independence. The silence, which initially felt like a rejection, can actually become a catalyst for attraction, drawing her closer rather than pushing her away. Of course, doing nothing is easier said than done. It requires a conscious effort to resist the primal urge to chase, to overcome the fear of losing her, to embrace the uncertainty of the situation. This is where the Stoic principles of self-discipline and emotional regulation come into play. It's about reminding yourself that your value does not depend on her approval, that your happiness is not contingent on her response, that you are complete and whole regardless of her actions. It's about focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, and your choices. And, crucially, it's about redirecting your energy towards activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, further solidifying your sense of self-worth and independence. Now, let's move beyond the initial response and delve into the specific strategies you can employ to not only navigate her silence but to actually turn the situation to your advantage. The first, and perhaps most important, strategy is to shift the focus back to yourself. Stop obsessing over her silence, stop analyzing every interaction, stop trying to decipher her motives. Instead, redirect that energy, that attention, towards your own personal growth and development. View her silence not as a rejection, but as an opportunity. An opportunity to invest in yourself, to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit, to pursue your passions and goals, and to become an even more compelling and attractive version of yourself. This is not about changing yourself to please her or to win her approval. It's about becoming the best version of yourself for your sake, because you deserve it, because you are worthy of it. What does this look like in practice? It could involve hitting the gym regularly, pushing your physical limits, and achieving new fitness goals. It could involve dedicating more time to your career or business, mastering new skills, and pursuing professional advancement. It could involve delving into your hobbies and passions, rediscovering activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. It could involve spending more time with friends and family, nurturing those important relationships, and creating a strong support network. It could involve exploring new interests, expanding your horizons, and challenging yourself intellectually. The specific activities are less important than the underlying principle, consciously choosing to invest in your own well-being and development, rather than fixating on her silence. The more you invest in yourself, the more you realize that her ignoring you is, in the grand scheme of things, insignificant. Her validation becomes less important, her opinion less influential, her absence less painful. You begin to derive your sense of worth from within, from your own accomplishments, your own values, your own sense of purpose. This, in turn, makes you even more attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who are confident, driven, and self-assured. They are attracted to men who have a sense of purpose beyond simply seeking their approval. By focusing on your own growth and development, you radiate these qualities, making you more desirable, more intriguing, and ultimately, more likely to capture her attention. Highlighting the importance of self-control and not showing desperation when ignored. Think back to a time in your life when you were completely absorbed in pursuing a goal, a passion, a challenge. Maybe you were training for a marathon, building a business from the ground up, or mastering a complex skill like playing a musical instrument or learning a new language. During those periods of intense focus and dedication, were you obsessing over someone's opinion of you? Were you desperately seeking validation from others? Probably not. You were too busy, too engaged, too driven to worry about such trivial matters. You were focused on becoming the best version of yourself, on achieving your goals, on pushing your limits. That same energy, that same mindset, is what you need to cultivate in the face of her silence. See it as an opportunity to reignite that inner fire, to rediscover your passion, to recommit to your goals, and to become an even more formidable force in your own life. This is not about ignoring her completely or pretending that she doesn't exist. It's about prioritizing yourself, about understanding that your worth is not contingent on her response, and about choosing to invest your energy in activities that contribute to your own well-being and development. The second strategy, and one that requires a delicate touch, is to utilize reverse psychology. This is often misunderstood and misused in the dating world, but when applied correctly, it can be an incredibly powerful tool for shifting the dynamic and regaining control. The basic principle of reverse psychology is to influence someone's behavior by advocating the opposite of what you desire. In the context of her silence, this means not chasing, not pleading, not begging for her attention. Instead, it means appearing unfazed, unaffected, and even indifferent to her lack of response. This is not about being manipulative or playing games. It's about demonstrating strength, self-assurance, and a lack of dependence on her validation. When you stop seeking her approval, when you show that her silence has no power over you, she begins to question her assumptions and reevaluate her perception of you. This is key. Human beings, by nature, are drawn to what they cannot easily have. We crave what is scarce, what is elusive, what requires effort to attain. When you make yourself readily available, when you chase relentlessly, you inadvertently diminish your value and decrease your desirability. You communicate that you are easily obtainable, that you are willing to do whatever it takes to win her approval. Reverse psychology flips this dynamic on its head. By appearing unfazed by her silence, you create a sense of mystery, intrigue, and scarcity. You communicate that you are not desperate for her attention, that you have other options, that you are comfortable being alone, and that you are not easily swayed by her actions. This, in turn, often sparks her curiosity and compels her to reconsider her initial assessment of you. Setting up the detailed guidance on how to handle rejection like a Stoic king. Imagine this: you've been texting her for a few weeks, the conversations flowing smoothly and effortlessly. Then, suddenly, she ghosts you. No explanation, no warning, just complete and utter silence. The temptation is to bombard her with messages, demanding an explanation, pleading for a response. But, that would be the exact opposite of what reverse psychology dictates. Instead, you do nothing. You resist the urge to text, call, or contact her in any way. You let the silence linger, allowing her to stew in her own confusion and uncertainty. You continue living your life, pursuing your goals, and engaging with other people, without giving her a second thought. You might even post pictures on social media of you having fun with friends, pursuing your hobbies, or achieving your goals, further reinforcing the impression that you are not affected by her silence. Eventually, she will likely reach out, curious to know why you haven't chased, why you haven't pleaded, why you haven't reacted as she expected. When she does, respond calmly, casually, and without any hint of resentment or bitterness. Don't bring up her silence, don't demand an explanation, don't act like you've been waiting by the phone for her call. Simply respond as if nothing happened, engaging in a normal and natural conversation. This subtle display of indifference will have a profound impact. It communicates that you are not controlled by her actions, that you are secure in your own worth, and that you are not easily manipulated. It shifts the power dynamic in your favor, making you appear more confident, more intriguing, and more desirable. However, it's crucial to approach reverse psychology with caution and integrity. It should not be used as a tool for manipulation or deception. It should be used as a means of demonstrating your self-worth, your independence, and your emotional resilience. The goal is not to trick her into liking you, but to present yourself in the most authentic and compelling light, allowing her to make an informed decision based on your true character and values. The third, and perhaps most crucial, strategy is to stay calm and unbothered. This is the essence of the Stoic approach to dating and relationships. It's about cultivating an inner sense of peace and equanimity that is not dependent on external circumstances or the actions of others. When a woman ignores you, it's easy to lose your cool, to become anxious, frustrated, or even angry. You might start overthinking, overanalyzing, and obsessing over her motives. You might start doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and fearing rejection. But, these emotions are precisely what you need to avoid. They undermine your confidence, erode your self-esteem, and communicate a sense of desperation that is inherently unattractive. The Stoic response is to remain calm, composed, and unperturbed, regardless of her actions. This does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that you don't care. It means acknowledging your emotions without being controlled by them. It means recognizing that her silence is a reflection of her own choices and circumstances, not a judgment of your worth. It means choosing to respond with reason, logic, and self-control, rather than with emotion, impulsivity, or reactivity. Emphasizing the need to stay calm and not let her actions dictate your emotional state. How do you cultivate this inner sense of calm and equanimity? It starts with understanding that you cannot control her actions, but you can control your reactions. You cannot force her to respond, to like you, or to stay in contact. But, you can control your thoughts, your emotions, and your choices. You can choose to focus on what you can control, such as your own growth, your own happiness, and your own sense of purpose. You can choose to let go of what you cannot control, such as her opinions, her motives, and her actions. It also involves practicing mindfulness and emotional regulation techniques. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It involves observing your thoughts and emotions without getting carried away by them. When you feel yourself becoming anxious, frustrated, or angry, take a deep breath, acknowledge the emotion, and gently redirect your attention to the present moment. Focus on your senses, on your breathing, on your surroundings. This will help you to ground yourself in the present and to avoid getting swept away by your emotions. Emotional regulation techniques involve consciously choosing to manage your emotions in a healthy and constructive way. This might involve practicing self-compassion, reminding yourself that everyone experiences rejection and disappointment. It might involve reframing your thoughts, challenging negative beliefs and replacing them with more positive and realistic ones. It might involve engaging in activities that help you to relax and de-stress, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. The key is to find techniques that work for you and to practice them consistently, so that you can effectively manage your emotions in the face of her silence. The more you practice staying calm and unbothered, the more you will radiate confidence, self-assurance, and inner peace. This, in turn, will make you more attractive, more intriguing, and more likely to capture her attention. Remember, women are naturally drawn to men who are emotionally stable, who are not easily rattled, and who possess a sense of inner strength and resilience. By cultivating these qualities, you will not only navigate her silence with grace and composure, but you will also attract a higher caliber of partner who appreciates and values your inner strength. The fourth, and perhaps most profound, strategy is to detach from the outcome. This is the ultimate Stoic move, the key to unlocking true freedom and happiness in dating and relationships. Detachment does not mean that you don't care about her or that you are indifferent to the outcome. It means that you are not emotionally invested in the outcome. It means that you are not placing your happiness or your self-worth on her response. It means that you are accepting the possibility that she may not reciprocate your feelings and that you are okay with that outcome. Detailing how shifting focus from her back to yourself maintains emotional power. This is a challenging concept to grasp, but it is essential for navigating the complexities of dating with grace and equanimity. When you are attached to the outcome, you become vulnerable to emotional distress. You become overly concerned with her opinions, her motives, and her actions. You become anxious, fearful, and desperate, all of which undermine your confidence and make you less attractive. When you are detached from the outcome, you are free from these emotional burdens. You are able to approach the situation with a sense of curiosity, openness, and acceptance. You are able to express your feelings and desires without fear of rejection. You are able to walk away from the situation if it is not serving your best interests. How do you cultivate detachment from the outcome? It starts with understanding that you cannot control her feelings or her actions. You can only control your own. You can express your interest, you can be your authentic self, and you can create opportunities for connection. But, you cannot force her to reciprocate your feelings or to choose you as a partner. Once you accept this fundamental truth, you can begin to release your attachment to the outcome. You can start to focus on the process rather than the result. You can start to enjoy the experience of getting to know her, without worrying about whether or not it will lead to a relationship. You can start to appreciate her for who she is, without trying to change her or to mold her into your ideal partner. It also involves cultivating a sense of self-sufficiency and independence. It means finding happiness and fulfillment in your own life, regardless of whether or not you are in a relationship. It means having hobbies, passions, and goals that are independent of her. It means having a strong support network of friends and family who value and appreciate you for who you are. The more fulfilled and independent you are, the less you will need her validation and the less attached you will be to the outcome. Detachment from the outcome is not about being cold or indifferent. It is about being emotionally intelligent and self-aware. It is about understanding that your happiness is not dependent on her response and that you are worthy of love and happiness, regardless of her choices. When you can truly detach from the outcome, you will radiate confidence, self-assurance, and inner peace. This, in turn, will make you more attractive, more intriguing, and more likely to capture her attention. But, more importantly, it will allow you to navigate the complexities of dating with grace, equanimity, and a deep sense of inner peace. Detaching from the outcome showing you respect yourself enough to walk away. Let's pause and reflect on the transformative power of these Stoic principles. Imagine a scenario where you've been on a few dates with a woman you're genuinely excited about. The chemistry is undeniable, the conversations are stimulating, and you feel a real connection forming. Then, out of the blue, she starts pulling away. Her texts become less frequent, her responses shorter, and her availability limited. The old you, the pre-Stoic version, would likely panic. You'd bombard her with messages, desperately seeking reassurance and trying to salvage the situation. You'd overanalyze every interaction, searching for clues as to what went wrong. You'd become consumed with anxiety, fear, and self-doubt. But, the new you, the Stoic version, approaches the situation with a newfound sense of calm and clarity. You recognize that her actions are beyond your control and that your happiness is not contingent on her response. You consciously choose to detach from the outcome, accepting the possibility that she may not reciprocate your feelings and that you are okay with that outcome. You shift the focus back to yourself, investing in your own growth, pursuing your passions, and strengthening your relationships. You practice mindfulness and emotional regulation, managing your emotions in a healthy and constructive way. You continue to live your life to the fullest, without allowing her silence to derail your happiness or your sense of self-worth. And, what happens? Paradoxically, she often starts to come back around. She senses your newfound confidence, your independence, and your inner peace. She becomes curious about why you're not chasing her, why you're not reacting as she expected. She starts to see you in a new light, as someone who is strong, self-assured, and worthy of her attention. But, even if she doesn't come back around, you're okay. You've learned to derive your sense of worth from within, to find happiness in your own life, and to navigate the complexities of dating with grace and equanimity. You've become a stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware version of yourself. You've mastered the art of handling rejection like a Stoic king. So, let's summarize the key takeaways from this epic exploration. When a woman ignores you, it's rarely about you. It's often a reflection of her own choices, insecurities, or circumstances. Your response is what truly matters. Choose to respond with self-control, wisdom, and equanimity. Resist the urge to chase. Reclaim your power by doing nothing. Shift the focus back to yourself. Invest in your own growth, pursue your passions, and strengthen your relationships. Utilize reverse psychology with caution and integrity. Demonstrate strength, self-assurance, and a lack of dependence on her validation. Stay calm and unbothered. Cultivate an inner sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Detach from the outcome. Accept the possibility that she may not reciprocate your feelings and that you are okay with that outcome. By embracing these Stoic principles, you will not only navigate the complexities of dating with greater ease and success, but you will also transform yourself into a more confident, resilient, and fulfilled human being. You will become the kind of man who attracts women effortlessly, not through manipulation or desperation, but through the sheer force of your own inner strength and self-worth. You will become the master of your own emotions, the captain of your own ship, the architect of your own destiny. And that, my friend, is a power that no one can ever take away from you. So, go forth and conquer. Embrace the silence, embrace the challenge, and embrace the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. The world is waiting for the Stoic king to rise. Remember, this isn't just about dating advice, it's about becoming the man you were meant to be. It's about taking control of your emotions, your relationships, and your life. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't react but takes control. This is your journey to becoming the unshakable, self-controlled version of yourself, the ultimate Stoic king. And it all starts now. Now, let's delve into some practical scenarios and actionable steps to solidify your understanding of these Stoic principles. Imagine you've been consistently texting a woman for a couple of weeks. The conversations have been engaging, and you feel a genuine connection. You decide to take the leap and ask her out on a date. She responds with a vague answer, saying she's busy or not sure about her schedule. You text her again a few days later, suggesting a specific date and time, but she doesn't respond at all. In the past, you might have panicked, bombarding her with messages, trying to figure out what went wrong, or desperately attempting to reschedule. But, the Stoic you recognizes this as an opportunity to practice detachment and self-control. You resist the urge to text her again. You accept her lack of response without judgment, understanding that it's her choice and not a reflection of your worth. You shift the focus back to yourself, dedicating your time and energy to activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. You hit the gym, work on your passion projects, and spend time with friends and family. You post pictures on social media of you living your best life, showcasing your confidence and independence. You completely let go of the outcome, trusting that whatever happens is meant to happen. A week later, she texts you out of the blue, apologizing for her lack of response and expressing interest in rescheduling. The old you might have jumped at the opportunity, eager to rekindle the spark. But, the Stoic you respond calmly and casually, without any hint of eagerness or resentment. You suggest a new date and time, but you also make it clear that you have other commitments and are not waiting by the phone for her call. You demonstrate that you are not needy or desperate and that you value your own time and independence. This subtle shift in dynamic often sparks her curiosity and intrigue, making her more interested in pursuing a connection with you. Or, consider this scenario: you've been on a few dates with a woman, and things seem to be going well. You've shared intimate conversations, and you feel a strong physical and emotional connection. You text her after the last date, telling her that you had a great time and would love to see her again. She reads the message but doesn't respond. Days turn into weeks, and you hear nothing from her. The old you might have become consumed with anxiety and self-doubt, constantly replaying the dates in your head, trying to identify any mistakes you might have made. You might have started comparing yourself to other men, wondering if you're not good enough or attractive enough. But, the Stoic you recognizes this as an opportunity to practice self-compassion and emotional regulation. You acknowledge your feelings of disappointment and rejection, but you don't let them define you. You remind yourself that everyone experiences rejection at some point in their lives and that it's not a reflection of your worth. You practice gratitude, focusing on the positive aspects of your life and appreciating the good things you already have. You engage in activities that help you to relax and de-stress, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. You continue to pursue your goals and passions, without allowing her silence to derail your progress. You detach from the outcome, accepting the possibility that she may not be the right person for you and that there are other opportunities for connection. You trust that the universe has a plan for you and that everything will work out for the best. In this scenario, she may never reach out again. But, the Stoic you is okay with that. You've learned to derive your sense of worth from within, to find happiness in your own life, and to navigate the complexities of dating with grace and equanimity. You've become a stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware version of yourself, ready to attract a partner who truly values and appreciates you for who you are. Now, let's address some common challenges and potential pitfalls that you might encounter on your journey to becoming a Stoic king. One of the biggest challenges is the temptation to break no contact. When you're faced with her silence, the urge to reach out, to check in, to see if she's okay, can be overwhelming. You might start rationalizing your actions, telling yourself that you're just being friendly or that you don't want to come across as cold or indifferent. But, succumbing to this temptation will undermine your progress and send the wrong message. It will communicate that you are still emotionally invested in her response and that you are not as detached as you appear to be. To overcome this challenge, it's helpful to have a support system in place. Talk to your friends, family, or a therapist about your feelings and your struggles. They can provide you with encouragement, accountability, and a different perspective on the situation. It's also helpful to remind yourself of the reasons why you're choosing to implement no contact. Write down your goals, your values, and your reasons for wanting to detach from the outcome. Refer back to this list whenever you feel tempted to break no contact. Another common challenge is dealing with your own emotions. When you're faced with her silence, you might experience a range of negative emotions, such as anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, and self-doubt. It's important to acknowledge these emotions and to allow yourself to feel them, without judging yourself or trying to suppress them. However, it's equally important to manage these emotions in a healthy and constructive way. Practice mindfulness and emotional regulation techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling. Engage in activities that help you to relax and de-stress, such as exercise, spending time in nature, or listening to music. Talk to a therapist or counselor if you're struggling to manage your emotions on your own. It's also important to challenge negative thoughts and beliefs. When you're feeling anxious or self-doubtful, ask yourself if your thoughts are based on facts or on assumptions. Are you catastrophizing or overgeneralizing? Are you being too hard on yourself? Challenge these negative thoughts and replace them with more positive and realistic ones. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, and your worth. Believe in yourself and your ability to attract a partner who truly values and appreciates you. Another potential pitfall is confusing Stoicism with indifference. It's important to remember that Stoicism is not about suppressing your emotions or becoming emotionally detached. It's about managing your emotions in a healthy and constructive way and about not allowing external circumstances to dictate your happiness or your self-worth. You can still care about her, you can still be interested in pursuing a relationship, but you don't need to be emotionally invested in the outcome. You can express your feelings and desires without fear of rejection, and you can walk away from the situation if it's not serving your best interests. Stoicism is about finding a balance between being emotionally engaged and being emotionally detached. It's about being present in the moment, enjoying the experience of connecting with another person, without worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. It's about being authentic, genuine, and vulnerable, without being needy, desperate, or manipulative. It's about being the best version of yourself, regardless of her actions or her opinions. Finally, it's important to remember that this is a journey, not a destination. Becoming a Stoic king is not something that happens overnight. It requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to learn and grow. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But, if you stay committed to the process, you will eventually transform yourself into a more confident, resilient, and fulfilled human being. You will become the kind of man who attracts women effortlessly, not through manipulation or desperation, but through the sheer force of your own inner strength and self-worth. You will become the master of your own emotions, the captain of your own ship, the architect of your own destiny. So, embrace the journey, embrace the challenges, and embrace the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. The world is waiting for the Stoic king to rise. And now, for a final, crucial element, the long game. Think beyond just this one interaction, this one woman. Stoicism isn't a dating trick, it's a life philosophy. The principles you're learning now will serve you in every aspect of your existence, in your career, your friendships, your family relationships, and, yes, your romantic pursuits. By cultivating self-control, emotional resilience, and a focus on what you can control, you're building a foundation for lasting happiness and success. Imagine facing a challenging situation at work, a difficult client, a demanding boss, a project gone awry. The Stoic principles you've learned will equip you to handle the situation with composure, clarity, and a focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on the problem. Imagine navigating a conflict with a loved one. Instead of reacting impulsively, you'll be able to approach the situation with empathy, understanding, and a willingness to compromise, leading to stronger and more fulfilling relationships. Imagine facing a personal setback, a failed business venture, a health scare, a personal loss. The Stoic principles will provide you with the resilience to bounce back from adversity, to learn from your mistakes, and to emerge stronger and wiser. So, as you embark on this journey to becoming a Stoic king, remember that it's not just about getting the girl. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, a man of integrity, strength, and compassion. It's about creating a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with your values. And, ultimately, it's about leaving a positive impact on the world. In conclusion, the silence of a woman you're interested in can be a frustrating and unsettling experience. But, by embracing the Stoic principles of self-control, emotional resilience, and a focus on what you can control, you can transform this challenge into an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and lasting happiness. Remember to resist the urge to chase, shift the focus back to yourself, utilize reverse psychology with caution, stay calm and unbothered, and detach from the outcome. By consistently applying these principles, you will not only navigate the complexities of dating with greater ease and success, but you will also become a more confident, resilient, and fulfilled human being. You will become the Stoic king you were always meant to be, attracting women effortlessly and living a life of purpose and meaning. So, go forth and conquer, not through manipulation or desperation, but through the sheer force of your own inner strength and self-worth. The world is waiting for you. Now, go create the life you deserve. Remember to subscribe to this channel for more insights on self-improvement, relationships, and the art of living a fulfilling life. And, don't forget to share your own experiences and insights in the comments below. Together, we can create a community of men who are committed to mastering their emotions, their relationships, and their lives. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic, and stay true to yourself.